Good evening. My name is Bryson. Wow. Man, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of you here, and I'm like looking around and I'm like, damn, I wasn't expecting so many people, but it doesn't surprise me because what Saga's doing is quite amazing. So, tonight we have an incredible lineup. I'm gonna be your host. I'm a decent guy, I'm okay. I'm not amazing by any standpoints. I've been playing games for quite some time, speaking just a little bit, but there's a speaker that's coming on the stage in a little bit that she's miles ahead of me, amazing, smart, has the brain of Einstein, I would say, because half the stuff we talked about, I had no clue what she was saying. But we're all here because we love gaming, and ideally, normally these things don't happen on a boat, but it's happening on a yacht right now. So I'm super excited to be presenting to you the Multiverse Summit, and with the wonderful Rebecca Liao, CEO of Saga.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Bryson. Isn't he fabulous? Woo! All right. So Bryson and I first met at 3XP a few months ago. So 3XP is one of the newer Web3 gaming conferences. It's out of Pasadena, California. And immediately I was struck by his knowledge of gaming, his eloquence, and his sincere love for all creators and gamers, and his belief in their potential to, as he likes to put it, become the impossible. And it is in the name of the creators, the storytellers, the developers, and the crazies who dare to dream their craziest dreams that Saga gets to work. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, you come from Web3, which before the rebrand was known as crypto, and why should I trust you? Well, I am here to tell you in as plain a way as I can what it is we are doing and why we're doing it. We are here in Web3 because we build, because we own, and because we choose. We build, we own, we choose. Web3 is about self-determination. Now, these values aren't new to gamers. So for the most cutting edge of the current generation of games, it really belongs to the user base, and it relies on creators for survival and growth. And in order for developers and creators to be able to create and scale, they need freedom. Okay? The ultimate freedom for a developer is a space of their own. And that space needs to be permissionless. It needs to be high performance, automated, gasless. It needs to be automatically interoperable. And of course, it needs to be decentralized. That's the whole point of Web3. So what it means is your own space is your own chain. And therefore, Saga is a chain to launch chains. All right, let's go through the product. So we have the Saga mainnet. We are a layer 1 protocol. And we are a layer 1 that launches other layer 1s. We call these layer 1s chainlets, chainlet, you get it. So how it works is a developer comes onto the platform, they request a chainlet, and it's permissionless. So you don't have to ask anyone, you don't need to offer any tokens, it is a completely open system. You request a chainlet, you get a chainlet. All right? And then you can start putting your smart contracts and your applications onto that particular chainlet. Now, the system is elastically scalable, which means you're not just looking at one chain. If you need more performance, you can get as many chains as you want. And because all the chains speak to one another, it all feels like the same game. So it is automatic provisioning plus elastic scalability of your game. We have architected the system to be as high performance as possible for Web3 gaming. All right, so who uses this? Developers, obviously, but also other layer 1s, and of course, both new and established projects. Okay, so how does it all work? Let's go through the most straightforward use case, which is the developer deploys onto the Saga chain. So developer knows their end users best. So one of the signature features of the Saga system is we are gasless, which means that we do not have a gas token that gets charged directly to the end user. We are invisible to the end user for as long as the developer wants us to be. Now, if they want to use this as a gas token, we're honored, but that's absolutely not true by default. Okay, so we leave it up to the developer to determine their monetization model. All right. So the developer, however, is going to pay the network. They're going to pay the validators for giving them the security and the block space, the computing power, basically. And the validators, in turn, get those fees. They also get some perks of being part of a layer 1 protocol. So they will get inflation rewards, staking rewards, et cetera. But this is our model, and this is what it means to be a developer on Saga. All right, so let's talk about what happens if you are not a single developer. Say you are a network of your own, or you are a gaming platform of your own. This is meant to be friendly to those networks. You have worked hard for your ecosystem. You have developed that brand relationship with your developers. You deserve to keep that. And so when you need extra block space, when you need to scale as a layer 1, then your developer will continue to deploy smart contracts onto your system as they normally would, except you are now doing a chainlet on Saga. You are paying for that chainlet directly in Saga tokens, and your developers are none the wiser. Their end users, certainly, none the wiser that they're using another network for block space. So what we have done is we have horizontally scaled your block space for the same kind of token supply. And you can see how the math works out there. So once again, let's review. The system is permissionless. It is high performance. It is automated, gasless, automatically interoperable, and decentralized. All right? So how is the first testnet performing? It's called Casio. It's 1.1 million TPS, 716 blocks per second, and capacity of 1,000 chains. We currently have it at about 500 chains, just to manage cost. But every single chain has its own RPC endpoints and block explorers, meaning this is all a system of dedicated chains. Now, Casio testnet was launched right after GDC, and we are now looking at the next iteration of this protocol. So what does that iteration look like? What does it include? So you can see that Casio is a very high-performance system. It is a true chain to launch chains. But what are we adding to it? So now we're adding interoperability. So IBC interconnected chains. The chains can truly speak to one another, which allows for interoperability of assets, but more importantly, that elastic scalability. It has shared security. So everyone is sharing security across the system, which allows for that automation. It also allows for a very high security system. Validator orchestration really is the magic of Saga. You can imagine that anytime a developer wants a chain, they get a chain, and the validators are obligated to stand up a chain. It means that the validators have a huge burden on them. We're already looking at thousands of chains by mainnet launch later this year. And so a lot of the engineering magic at Saga is really in the scaling. It's in validator orchestration. All right. This latest iteration of the protocol will include a proof of authority validator set and, of course, incentivize testnets. So I am so proud to announce today this next iteration of the Saga protocol, which is known as Pegasus. Thank you so much, guys. So Pegasus is the last major milestone before we get to mainnet launch later this year. This is our very last stop. We'll have a few more testnets along the way just to make sure that the system is secure, that we have a fully decentralized validator set, but Pegasus is it. Pegasus is what we are going to market with. It is our beta testnet. Now, when is it coming? Our engineers are completing it, and you're going to see it coming out very soon. Our VP of Engineering is in the room, so you know that it's going to be coming out soon. In the meantime, the developer experience is very, very similar to what's available on Casio. And so if you want to get started with a look and feel and how to deploy on your own chains right now, feel free to look up that QR code. It leads you directly to our documentation for the Casio testnet, and you get to start launching chains at will. Again, capacity all the way up to 1,000 for now, but as more and more people come into the system, we will increase that. All right, fantastic. So let's talk about some use cases, because one of the weirder points of Web3 is that it focuses a lot on technology and not on how you actually use it. So what are some of the things that you can do with this platform that you really can't do with others, particularly when it comes to gaming? So we can think of three that we think are particularly helpful for games. One is a unified hierarchical economy. And what the hell does that mean? What it means is that you can have separate in-game economies based on values of assets, and they're all going to be on different chains, but they all feel like the same experience. You're going to hear a theme here, that you can have segregation of worlds, of realms, instances, shards, but they all feel like the same game. All right, so you can have hierarchies of different assets throughout your game. Second major use case is recycled gas tokens. Why is this important? So we deeply felt that the system needed to be gasless in order for end users to actually find it enjoyable. But what that means is that we open up the possibility for spamming. So this is a way in which you can make sure that your game doesn't get spammed even though you don't have a token. All right? And then finally, of course, the horizontal sharding of instances for games and other kinds of applications. All right, so once again, you can have different instances on different chains. They can all speak to one another, and it all still feels like the same experience. Okay, so our innovators are working with us on these different use cases, but the attitude that we take at Saga is the more the merrier. And therefore, if you are interested in participating in any of these projects, definitely feel free to let any of the Saga team members know. All right, so when are all these goodies coming out? Let's look at the roadmap and where we are. All right, so end of last year, we released Andromeda, which is our AlphaNet, and then came Casio at GDC, and we are now at Pegasus, and the very last stop is mainnet launch, which is later this year. So we have a lot of content that is going to go live at the end of this year when our network goes live. Okay. And of course, we're not going to stop with one mainnet. There will be future iterations of it where we improve upon the features. But when are we at the production version of our system? It'll be later this year. Fantastic. So that's about us. Now, the thing about Saga is we are deep into partnerships. We believe that partnerships are important, not just for distribution and pipeline, but really for improving the technology stack. And our flagship partners, some of whom are here with us on this yacht, thank you guys, have really helped us to further automate the instantiation of these dedicated chains through their ecosystems. So for Polygon, we automate their supernets. For Avalanche, we automate subnets. For Celestia, we automate their rollups. These are just a handful of examples. We're also partners with Come To Us, Clayton, Forte, and many others. It's a common theme of being able to automate this block space in order for your infrastructure to scale so that you can actually handle games. All right, so what does it mean when we bring these partners onto the system? Because they don't work the same way that Saga works. Well, that's where flexibility really becomes important. So you can really pick your own SLA in each of these, what we call realms. You can pick your own virtual machines. You can also pick your choice of validator set. Maybe you don't like our validator set for whatever reason, and you have your own. That's perfectly fine. So it's a great product, cool product, but what can you actually do with it? Well, at Saga, we take the attitude that our eyes have not yet seen, nor our ears heard, nor our minds imagined what we can build. All right, and that is a level of ambition that gaming currently has. We are at a moment when gaming is eating media. A lot of the traditional entertainment companies are looking to gaming for inspiration as to what their future business models and growth vectors are going to look like. But these are the traditional studios, and it's nice to have their attention, but that is just the beginning. Our belief is that the future of gaming and entertainment is in the decentralized generation of content, and therefore, the Saga Multiverse is a full-stack production studio where storytellers, creators, developers combine sight, sound, motion to break the silos that have held us back from telling our stories and realizing our dreams. Okay, so Saga Multiverse, sorry about that, guys. So Saga Multiverse is really our anthem. This is an ecosystem in which the developers, the creators, and the storytellers are able to freely collaborate and extend each other's universes. And we are spearheading what we believe to be the main contribution of Web3 to the greater cultural zeitgeist, which is celebration of freedom and the exploration of creative expression together. All right, so let me introduce you to some of the really amazing innovators that are currently building on us. These are the people who belong to our ecosystem program. They are gaming projects. They are NFT entertainment and DeFi projects, some social projects, so the vast majority are in gaming. All right, and we're going to unveil at Gamescom here the generative multiverse, which is, apologies guys, what happened to the keynote?
Video.
I'm sorry? Thank you so much. All right, so the video is coming, but Generative Multiverse is our new initiative among our innovator program. So with so many innovators, many of whom are games, they're always looking for content and the easiest way to generate that content. Now, generative AI is probably a term that's been overused, but I think that our innovators have found it incredibly useful in many ways, and that's why we have invited these lighthouse innovators into our ecosystem to not just provide generative AI tools, but also to create generative AI content. And it's enabling people who are professionally trained to be designers and artists, but more importantly, it's enabling people who don't think of themselves as storytellers to nevertheless create beautiful content just based on their interests. All right, so if you are interested in joining this particular program because you love generative AI and you believe in decentralized generation of content, definitely let us know. All right, so in our opinion, the multiverse becomes real because of Web3. It is creators who are freely building and extending each other's universes. It's people who don't think of themselves as storytellers, nevertheless creating content that resonates with whole communities. It is about self-determination and ownership of your own intellectual property and the freedom to contribute to others. And it is content that doesn't have the resources of a big studio, but nevertheless captures a storyteller's passion. This is the world we are building. And would you like to see what it looks like?
The multiverse represents a boundless realm of possibilities where creators and innovators can shape entire worlds. Take projects to new heights in a way that other platforms can't match.
It's a bright new future of interoperability where new technologies are all going to be able to come together and see what we can create. Saga is working to make this way more accessible for everyone.
The multiverse is a concept where different games and virtual worlds are interconnected. As a developer, you can build your own game using the Saga chainlet. We love the speed and efficiency with Saga.
With Saga, I'm in the driver's seat. This is always something that I dreamed was possible, but it's really exciting to see it come to fruition.
This could be a revolution in terms of the technology we could use. It's fantastic to have not just the right tech, but the right people. It's not just the objective, but the journey.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to end this evening where it all began, which is Saga is a space where the crazies come to dream their craziest dreams and feel loved and supported. Our 224 innovators are the heart and soul of Saga. They currently form our innovator program. We're always open to new cool projects that are looking to build on Saga. So if you have a great game, a great NFT project, DeFi and social, welcome as well. We would love to hear from you. Now, these projects currently are vast majority gaming, 80% are in gaming. We have some NFTs and entertainment, mostly in support of the games, and again, the DeFi and social, and of course, our fellow infrastructure projects. By mainnet launch later this year, we are looking at over 300 innovators. So it's quite a vast ecosystem, especially for a layer 1 Web3 protocol. So I want to reiterate again, our eyes have not yet seen, our ears have not yet heard, our minds have not yet imagined what we can build. Well, we at Saga have seen it, our innovators have lived it, and we are ready to shock the world again. And in this moment, I am asking you to join us. Thank you so much for being here. To our innovators, our storytellers, our creators, and most importantly, to our developers, thank you for this incredible journey. And let's keep it going. Thanks so much, guys.